I made 1,000.
All week they've been cashing.
I have tripled my bankroll.
I feel like you print money over here.
You're the most consistent.
There ain't nobody that's spot on like you, man.
So far, it's been like around 75% hit rate.
You feeding families, man.
B-Wade Picks, man. He is the fucking man.
What's up, guys? It's B-Wade. We continue to murder the NFL. The books hate us. So we have a full slate of games this Sunday for the NFL. I'm going to tackle everything except for Sunday night's game. I'll do that in a separate video. But I have 10 picks that I've really found that I love. I'm playing them. I'm just going to walk you guys through all 10 props, show you that research, the analysis, explain to you why I like those picks. I am also giving away a signed SGA jersey on this channel, so stick around. I'll tell you more about that. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, and we are going to jump into these picks. We're starting out with Josh Allen for a rushing touchdown. This one's pretty clear, right? If you've been watching football the last few weeks, this dude is an end zone monster, and he's had, 7 touchdowns in the last 3 weeks. Getting this at even money is a bargain. That's what we're looking for, good values. And Josh Allen to score a rushing touchdown, especially against a New England team that's very mediocre. I expect the Bills to probably score at least 3 or 4 touchdowns. Josh Allen's going to end up with one of them. Lock this one in. Next, we're looking at Puka for receptions. So you look at this, and there's a story here. The first game, he got injured, so he didn't play that whole one. This one, where he only had 1 catch, he got ejected for punching a dude. Dude had a helmet on, not the best move. And then this is the only game, really, where he played the full game where he didn't hit this line. And in this game, the Rams only threw the ball, I want to say 25 or 26 times, which is abnormally low. There was a really weird game script here. Stafford only threw for 180 yards, not your typical game. So otherwise, he's hitting the other 6 games this year. He's going up against the Jets defense, which is solid, but Puka is immune to whatever the other team's cornerbacks look like. I mean, you look against Philly, one of the best defenses in the NFL. He still ended up with 9 catches. Even if he has to catch short 5, 6, 7 yard balls, he does. He ends up with a ton of targets. I mean, you look at this, he's had 13 or more 3 different times this year already. He's averaging in the last 5 weeks 10.4 targets a game, 8 catches. We just need 7 here for him to go over, and so I am locking this in as well. Next, we're taking Jordan Addison over 51.5 receiving yards. He's been cooking lately. Sam Darnold's been looking his way a lot more. They're going up against a Seattle team that really got exposed last week, and you look at the target share for Addison lately, and these last 5 weeks, it's ticked up significantly. He's gotten 8, 9, 6, 12, and 9 targets for an average of 8.8 targets a game, which is significantly more than he was getting earlier in the season, where he was looking at 4, 3, or 5 targets every week. So the volume that's coming to him, for him to hit 51 yards, and the fact that you have Justin Jefferson on the other side of the field really opens things up for Addison, and Minnesota's been taking advantage of that these last few weeks. Love this one. We're sticking with the Vikings here, and I'm taking Aaron Jones over 66.5 rushing yards. The Seattle rush defense is soft as baby shit, giving up 109 yards per week. Aaron Jones has really been just locking in as the season goes on. He's a great runner. Team loves him. He runs good between the tackles. He can also break one for a long rush. He went over against, granted, it's Atlanta and Chicago. Both are very mediocre run defenses, but I like him to keep that trend going. Seattle is another mediocre run defense, and I think he gets at least 80 yards in this. You also look at his rush attempts, and other than this abnormal one where he ended up with 5, he's getting at least 13 carries every week. If he gets 5 yards per carry, that's 65 yards. So as long as he gets the volume, he ends up with a couple decent 10, 15 yard chunks. I love him to get at least 70 or 80 yards in this game. For our 5th pick, Saquon, say less. A Washington run defense that's ranked 27th in the NFL, giving up 111 a game. Last time they played him, he ended up with 146 yards. He broke off a huge one later in the game, and that's what Saquon does, right? He wears down defenses. The Eagles continue to feed him the ball. Their offense runs through him, and then in the third, fourth quarter, he just starts to run over linebackers. And I expect it to happen again this week. An easy 100-burger for Saquon. Lock that one in. And the main website or fantasy app that I use to put most of my sports slips in is going to be PrizePicks, y'all. You need to be using PrizePicks because they give us more promos than anyone else in the industry. They're giving us Baker Mayfield over half a passing yard this weekend. They've given us Saquon Barkley over half a yard, Jason Tatum over half a point, Jordan Love over half a passing yard. Continuously, they're giving us free picks. 2 to 3 discounted picks every day. You will not regret it. It's the easiest fantasy app to be profitable on. You need to use this app. They will double your first deposit up to $250 when you use code BWP. Check out PrizePicks. You won't regret it. It will help you to make money. Let's jump into these last 5 picks. We're sticking with the Eagles and going with Jalen Hurts for a rushing touchdown. Look, getting these type of picks at even money feels unfair. He has hit this in 8 of his last 9 games he's rushed for a touchdown. He gets almost all the goal line carries on this team. I can't understand why this is even money. This should be like a minus 200 type pick. Lock in Jalen Hurts for a rushing touchdown every week until something changes. Now, this next one, we're looking at Jonnu Smith over 5.5 receptions. This line has definitely crept up over the last few weeks, as it should. You look at his target volume, and he has become Tua's favorite target. He's his first read on a lot of plays. And look, San Fran's defense is nice in the secondary. 3rd least receptions allowed. The least receptions to tight ends, so this is not an easy matchup, and I had to really do some research and dig in on this one. But shit, the Chargers just scored a touchdown. But yeah, he's gone over this in 4 out of the last 5. The only game where he missed it was a really weird one for him against the Jets, where he only got 1 target all game, and then it went into overtime, and he got 3 targets, 3 catches, scored the game-winning touchdown, and Miami won, right? So it was really clear, why the fuck weren't you giving Jonnu Smith the ball all game? The other 4, he's gotten 6, 9, 10, and 9. So Houston's a great secondary, great pass defense. He still went for 9 catches against them. And I'm pretty strong about taking the receptions line instead of receiving yards, because in that last game, you see, he got 9 receptions but only 48 yards. So he is kind of the safety valve. He ends up with some short catches, so I'm sticking with the reception line instead of receiving yards. Sticking with the tight end position, TJ Hawkinson, he got a lot of looks last week. I think he hit this line in the first half last week against Chicago. The Seattle defense is pretty soft against tight ends, giving up 57 yards per game. I am locking this one in. This is really a no-brainer for me. I love him against this defense. We got 2 more. Fading Debo. Y'all, Debo has just not been it lately. He complained about not getting the ball. They really tried to get him the ball as much as they could last week. He got 7 targets, 3 catches, couldn't do shit with them, ended up with just 16 yards. And now he's going up against a stout Miami pass defense that is ranked 4th in the NFL against wide receivers. They're only giving up 130 a game. And look, they really tried to force the ball to Debo last week after he was complaining about it, and it didn't do any good. They lost the game. I think they back away from that. They can say, look, we tried to get you involved and you weren't able to do anything with it. They can go back to their normal game plan and abandon the Debo show. He doesn't hit this line in this game. And then our last pick, Jamar, over 26.5 longest reception. Now, there is an asterisk on this one because I really only like it if T. Higgins is playing. Higgins is questionable. I think he's going to play. But having Higgins in the game really opens up things for Jamar Chase. You can see here in games without T. Higgins, let's see what it looks like. He's gone over this 2 out of 5 games. But then when we look at games with T. Higgins, He's only missed it once. He's 8 for 9. Having T. Higgins in the game really opens things up for Jamar Chase. And so I don't like this play if Higgins isn't in the game. So make sure to keep an eye on that. If Higgins is in, love this pick for Jamar, especially against a soft Cleveland defense. Lock it in. I already told you guys about PrizePicks being my favorite fantasy app for all the promos. The other app that I use a lot is going to be Underdog. Underdog has the most props for each player. They're going to give you anywhere from 12 to 20 props that you can pick from for every player, where PrizePicks, some of those other ones are only going to have 3, 4, 5 different stat categories you can play. Underdog has the most. It is probably the most robust fantasy app as far as the different players they have, the different stats they have, the different ways you can play it. And they will double your first deposit up to $1,000 when you use code BWADE. There's absolutely no reason for you to not have Underdog Fantasy in your arsenal, and really as one of your primary tools when you're putting these slips together. I love it. It will help you to be more profitable, and it'll help you to be more strategic in the type of picks that you're able to make when you have that many options for stat categories. So sign up with Underdog, take advantage of it, make some money. Look, I appreciate you guys watching this video. Because I appreciate you all so much, I continue to pick up these signed jerseys just to give away to you guys as a way to show my appreciation. So we gave away the signed Jamar Chase jersey earlier this week. I just picked up a signed SGA jersey. This is the best one I've done yet, and I'm going to be giving it away soon, so stick around. It's in the mail on the way here. I don't want to start the giveaway until I actually physically have it, but make sure to hit that subscribe button so that you know what you got to do to win it. And drop a comment down below just to show some love. Let me know if you're tailing, if you have any questions. As always, subscribe, like, comment. I appreciate it a ton. It helps the algorithm. This is a new channel for me because YouTube shut the old one down. So let's get that engagement firing. I appreciate y'all. Let's make some money this weekend.